Well, this is immediately more detailed than the interior of any building in Detective Pikachu Returns. The first thought that comes into my head. Because I just remember, like, the first case that we did in Detective Pikachu Returns being, like, a hotel foyer that, you know, was bright white. So I just got PTSD looking at this. Well, this looks nice. No wonder Richissime is known around the world. Welcome to Lumios's fanciest hotel. I can just wear my regular clothes. Yeah, I mean, you could wear your danky whatever the heck clothes, that so can I. No way can Hotel Z compare on the luxury front. Yeah, but we're probably more cost-effective for consumers, wouldn't we be? Wonder what else we can do to set ourselves apart and satisfy our guests. Presumably, we have much cheaper prices than here, so, like, you know, if people aren't willing to spend the price of a new Nintendo game to spend the night, then they probably come to us. Anyway, for now, let's see what this Society of Battle Connoisseurs thing is all about. Greetings. I've been expecting you. I forget what tone I gave for her before. Whatever, man. Are you waiting all this time just for us? Well, yeah. Things get seriously nasty for me if you kids decide to flake and no-show. I don't even want to think about what would have happened to you guys. I digress. Once you both are adequately prepared, kindly follow me. Oh, it's this arc with the amazing boss music? Oh. I thought the first game was decent, but man, I cannot think of Detective Pikachu the same after the second game. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like, I played the first Detective Pikachu game, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, I guess. Like, not any inherently major flaw or anything like that. You know, probably not for me playing it as an adult, but, you know, if you're a kid just wanting to play a puzzle game, like, sure, it's fine. But then Detective Pikachu Returns, my god. Like, I still think one of my favorite parts of Detective Pikachu Returns that I'll always think back on, and especially looking at this place here, was in that hotel foyer when we were talking with, like, what was his name? Like, the main detective guy that we were working under, where, like, Tim is implying that someone else could be responsible, and the guy was like, what do you mean? And he had, like, a voice delivery, something like that, but the animation was like a, what do you mean? As it, like, zoomed in on his face like a freaking Oblivion cutscene. Like, that shot, like, I always think back on that shot, and it always cracks me up. Kindly follow me to the venue. Oh, man. Like, there was some good laughs to be had about the Detective Pikachu Returns playthrough as well. Like, I, as well, cannot think the same about Detective Pikachu after that game either. And I actually really like the movie. I actually had a lot of fun with the Detective Pikachu movie. I actually quite like that film. But, man, I don't think I would ever play Detective Pikachu Returns again, not even for laughs, just because of, like, the pain and slog of the gameplay. But just as, like, a memory now to look back on how crazy it was, that is a playthrough I'm glad I did. Maybe we should just not do a Pokemon Legends ZA video essay. Let's spend that time doing a Detective Pikachu Returns one instead. That one would be a doozy. You hear that? Wonder what's up with her. Oh, man. Jaquine's theme is peak, so I've heard there. Also, she's hilarious. For me, it's the final case, because that's when I just crashed out. Yeah, I will always think on, like, the final case as well. Where, like, the mayor is totally not responsible for any of the wrongdoing. It was setting him up as, like, the villain the whole time, only to be like, nope, he was just being really dumb and following all the orders of, like, the real mastermind, and he just, and the mayor was just dumb and negligent and endangered, like, everybody. But, you know, he's just fine, and there's no punishment on him. He, oh my god, like, yeah, I will think on that. Another thing that I think on is, like, most of the cutscenes were, like, very bare bones and basic. Some of them had, like, a little bit higher animation. One of them went, like, super cinematic. When they're, like, when they've got those mind control cubes on all the Beedrill, and they order the Beedrill to attack. And the freaking Beedrill does this, like, arc going forward, where, like, the camera, like, zooms in on the Beedrill as it's doing this arc, and it's like, ooh, that's cinema! And that was, like, the only shot. That was the only camera shot in the entire game that wowed me, but it's stuck in my head to this day for whatever reason. Because I think about how in, like, that one moment, they kind of went hard on filmmaking, and then every other cutscene in the game is just such a freaking mess. That one's good too. Out of nowhere, I want a divorce. I forgot about that one until you mentioned it. That one was good. Man, Detective Pikachu, like, I I've never gotten drunk. I've never gotten high. But I can only imagine that Detective Pikachu Returns would be a blast of a game to play while high. The Society of Battle Connoisseurs uses this floor as our battleground. Lady Jacinth will provide more details shortly. Until then, you might do as you please. I guess my clothes didn't matter there. But yeah, I just can't have anything other than PTSD flashbacks to the ending when you're hearing about Detective Pikachu. Played the first game as a teenager and thought it was decent, but just can't think of anything else but the second game. Yeah, the second game, definitely leaves an impression. Hey, look, there's, what's-his-face, Max Fisto over there. It feels tense in here. Guess that's what happens when you get a bunch of battle fans together. I'm gonna see who else is here. I'm stumbling on my words here, man. I've got Detective Pikachu Returns on the mind. Oh, score! Looks like I got another shot at revenge against Florgens. Is she gonna blow a gasket again afterwards? Our redemption arc is just... My hair is clipping through my shoulder. I haven't seen that happen before, but I guess when my character sits on this specific spot for this cutscene, it just does that, I guess. A redemption arc is just what my storyline needs. Nothing amps up the bass like a comeback. What, did your fans see me battling you? What do you mean, amps up the bass? Revenge against me? Maybe you're just talking, like, purely for yourself there. I really hope it's you and me in the finals default. Bet we'd go viral if we streamed our showdown. That would be nice. But being lumped together with Ivor like this is mortifying. Oh, there she is. Lady Jacinth has arrived. Freaking Lego-looking plastic hair with the coloration like you're a Fire Emblem protagonist. Very pink indeed. I am gonna butcher that so hard. Bienvenue and hello to one and all. I'm Jacinth, your humble host for this fine event. Allow me to begin by thanking each of you for making the time to attend today's gathering. We, the Society of Battle Connoisseurs, strive to provide more than simply a venue for battling. Oh, all sorts of familiar faces here. We aim to also help trainers and Pokemon better understand, appreciate, and inspire growth in one another, all through battles. Just the other day, we were joined by Galor's former champion, Leon, who delivered a very fine lecture at our invitation. And today, I've invited a group of exceptional trainers who have recently piqued my interest. Did he give a lecture about having a champion time? These gifted few have garnered attention in the ZA Royale, held each night on Lumios's streets. Aloha, let us begin! As I call your names, please come and join me on the court. From Dynamo, the electrifying canary. Even pronounced, like, I know that it's in writing, so, like, you can't interpret the way that it's said. But I do find it funny how she also says it with, like, the 4 in the name. Again, like, maybe that's not something that I should find amusing. Like, I would assume that, like, some high society person will be out of touch with some random streamer chick, but... And I know that it's not going to change the pronunciation of Dynamo at all. But you'd think that it would just have it spelled out as, like, the word Dynamo or something. I don't know. It's a pretty weird thing to be getting hung up on, but I can't help but have my brain latch onto that. And the venerable Tarragon. From the Fist of Justice, the mighty Ivor. And the inimitable Gwyn. I'd love to see your Fist of Justice later. From the Rust Syndicate, the cunning Corbu. Oh, crap. I was told in a comment recently that there was, like, correct pronunciation for this, and I've already forgotten it. And the dependable Philippe. And from Team MZ, the valiant Tawny. And the up-and-coming Florgens. Wonder how this is gonna go. If I have called your name, please gather here. Her hair looks like cotton candy. Honored guests! I, Jacinth, am thrilled to announce a very special tournament for your enjoyment today. I call it Le Super Tournoi. Huzzah! So sorry, I gotta take this call. You're just gonna do it right here. You don't even step out like a reasonable person. What's up, Vinny? Got some rogue mega evolution cases for us? Got it. I'll work out a plan with everyone. Look, everyone's looking over. Except the cool people. Jacinth? Yes, what is it? We really appreciate the invite, but something urgent has come up. Solo? What could possibly be so important? We've got to go. That's enough French for one day. Okay. So, I mean, honestly, Jakith is the best fairy-type trainer Pokemon has because she genuinely acts like a fake creature of myth with how unpredictable she is. Oh, the J is pronounced as Ya? So, Yakith? French language makes no sense. So, Yakith there says Yakith is unleash your furies, unlike everything. Yeah, everything is always a Rodom now. Yacinth? To pronounce it then, Yacinth? Can't believe she had got so many hard hitters together for her own private tournament. Yacinth seems like someone we're gonna need to watch out for. Perhaps you would do better to watch out for yourselves after that display. I urge you to kindly reconsider your actions. You still have time. You must return to the venue. I say this out of concern for your own well-being. That's alright. You can disqualify us. We've got to go help protect this city so that you all can keep enjoying your tournaments. No, wait! Oh, come on! Okay. Alright, we need to put together another strategy meeting. But I also just got a request to help someone out, so I'll tackle that real quick on my way back. Sorry, but go ahead to Hotel Z without me, okay? I'll see you there soon. Okay. Pronunciation is weird. French pronunciation is as weird as English. I was about to say it might be weirder, but, you know, knowing the English language, yeah, you might well be right there. Why can't pronunciation just be like German, where, you know, everything is written the same way that it sounds? You know, like, you see a word, and you know how to, you know, just generally pronounce things in German. You can speak it. Trouble is the German grammar. The fact that freaking everything is gendered with, like, no rhyme or reason, and you just have to memorize it. That's the part that I hate about German. But, you know, in terms of, like, actual spelling and everything and words, German's great. I love German. Tawny told us what happened. Too bad the call came in the middle of the party. I guess a rogue Mega Evolution can strike any time. Protecting the city requires sacrifices. At least after seeing Floridance at work, that's my conclusion. First thing that I thought in mind is we've got to sacrifice someone. Anyway, how was the party? It was a lot. I guess the other half really does live differently. I'm back. Is Floridance here yet? Clearly. Why didn't you just come back with him? What do? Get sidetracked and wander off? I swung by Prism Tower on my way here. There was something I wanted to check out. Fine, whatever. Come on, we've got a strategy meeting to start. Okay. That was dumb the first time they made one of your devices into a Rotom, and still find it dumb the 20th time they've done it. To me, the issue with German is that words are comically large and I cannot say them without laughing. I mean, you can just separate them into separate words. The reason why a lot of people feel like words are large in German is because you can take two words and literally make them one word if it's, you know, applicable here. Like, I guess here would be an English example combining book and shelf into bookshelf. That's probably not the best example. Let's say Krankenwagen, for example. So, like, ambulance. But in German, it literally translates to sick wagon. So, to be krank, that means you're sick. You're krank. And Wagen would be, you know, wagon, or like older style of saying vehicle. So, if you say Krankenwagen, it's, you know, the wagon for those that are sick. So it might look like a long word, but that's only because it's combined multiple words together. You can still separate them into different words and be like, oh yeah, it's the Krankenwagen, you know? Maybe you could say, like, Krankenauto to be a little bit more modern, like, sick car. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. Like, I guess just Krankenwagen's been so normalized. I don't know what some other good examples are. But, you know, there are things that you can literally just make up. Like, let's say this carpet, for example, goes with this floor. You can literally say it's the floor carpet as, like, one word. Like, you can just make stuff up like that if it's applicable in that sense. Where it's like, oh yeah, that's what that thing is, you know? And there have been some interesting videos people have made where they really stretch the possibilities of that and make, like, the longest possible thing you've ever... They're actually really quite funny. There was a really funny video of that on YouTube at one point where it was like combining a bunch of different names or something or other that I actually got a kick out of. I forget what it's called. I wonder if I could find it. It's really funny though. Hold on. I'd have to just look it up generally because I have no idea what it's called there. If I just look up German combining words. I don't even remember what words they were using, but it was just something really hilarious. No, if I just look this up in general, maybe I'll find it another time. Maybe I'll find it another time here. I don't know. There was some, like, short couple-minute video where this person kept on expanding the complexity of the thing they were describing and continuing to combine it into an ever-getting longer word. Oh, I wish I remembered what it was called. Oh, crap, man. But yeah, the Welsh is the biggest sinner. There where the language is so comically written. So I've heard. Why does it sound utterly hilarious? Yeah, I've heard some people say that about German. I never thought that it sounded all that hilarious, but I mean, I grew up with the language. So, bei die Zeit ich weiß nicht, vielleicht 4 Jahre alt war, könnte ich Deutsch sprechen. So, für mich ist es nicht lustig, aber für anderen vielleicht ist es lustig. Ich weiß nicht. Rotom was meant to be a spooky ghost who hides in your electronics that was able to take over them. They weren't supposed to be an AI for your smartphone. Yeah, it's kind of recontextualized Rotom, huh? Plus, wasn't Rotom supposed to be rare? Not something that you ever have common enough to put in every device ever? Yeah, it was kind of like an almost secret pseudo-legendary in the first game that he was in with Diamond and Pearl. But now it's just like, oh yeah, Rotom's just like everywhere. I mean, I got my German model train with the box name being Personenzuglokomotiv mit Vanentender, which I know what that sentence means purely based on train knowledge, but it's really funny to say. But can you say it with correct pronunciation? And I didn't there because I'm realizing I wrote Su Locomotive instead of Suk Locomotive because I was dumb. I'm realizing. Personen Suk Locomotive. So literally person train locomotive is what that literally is. Are you good to start the strategy meeting, Floridans? Mit Van... I don't actually know what Vanintenda is. I'm gonna be honest. Good to start the strategy meeting, Floridans. So it's a person train locomotive with something, I don't know. Ready to strategize, sure. When I see niche words that I've never seen before. I hereby declare the strategy meeting open, but that's an example of combining multiple words into one, where that's 3 words that have been combined into one. Personen is one word, Suk is another word, and locomotive, I should say. I've got too much English on my mind. My German is so out of practice. Here I am being like, can you say it with correct pronunciation? Whereas I'm not saying it with correct pronunciation. Personen Zug Lokomotiv mit Vanentender. My god. I gotta spend a year in Germany or something like that one of these days. Then I'll become fluent. As is, my German doesn't get practiced and I slowly lose it. But it has to do with water, specifically bathtubs, I believe. Basically, Vanentender means the tender of a steam locomotive. I don't even know what the tender of a steam locomotive is. But, hereby declare the strategy meeting open. Here's our update from Vinny. Looks like we've got 3 more spots where Pokemon are in danger of Rogue Mega evolving. First, there's a Frostless in Aimless Park in the Blue District. Then there's an Altaria in Magenta Sector 4. Third one is Venusaur in John's Sector 8. Why couldn't this just be Charizard? And then they have, like, you can buy either Charizard X or Y, and then the other one you get from this. Why is it that you can buy both Charizard X and Y and the Blastoiseite, but Venusaur specifically is one of the... So freaking dumb, man. They sure do pop up all over Lumiose. I guess I'm going after Venusaur first. Vinny's intel says the Pokemon falling victim to Rogue Mega Evolution are getting stronger, too. When one's opponents grow more formidable, one need only train to match them. Not a bad suggestion. I don't think we have time to mess around with extra training while Pokemon could go rogue. Besides, Floridance has rank C in the ZA Royale now. That's plenty strong. There aren't that many trainers in all of Lumiose who are stronger. To reach such a high rank is remarkable indeed. Have you considered entering a tournament? That seems like a fine way to train up your team. That's true, but our first goal should be to learn anything that can help us plan. Like the types of these Pokemon that might go rogue. Yeah, knowing your opponent's type is like Pokemon battling 101. Anything else we need to consider before we move on to assignments? Alors, the Society of Battle Connoisseurs event comes to mind. How are they faring, I wonder? Who cares? We turned them down pretty hard. After all, tackling the Rogue Mega Evolution problem is Team MZ's priority. And what exactly is this Rogue Mega Evolution problem, I might ask? Oh, come on. Does anyone actually think we need to go over it again from the start? Wait a minute. You see what I mean by this story being, like, such unhinged lunacy, but in, like, a self-aware, entertaining way? Now that you mention it, does this strategy meeting feel weirdly crowded to anyone else? You alright, Lena? Sounds like you're imagining things. Or maybe not. What are you doing here, Yacinth, or whatever the heck there? As the host of Les Super Tournois Yacinth, I'm here to personally escort you back to the venue. I'm sorry, who is this lady exactly? C'est moi! I'm Yacinth, leader of Lumios's illustrious Society of Battle Connoisseurs. I'm doing these emotes in real life, and I'm realizing that I'm emoting in real life more than the characters are in game. Like, it took me a moment to realize that, and it's like, wow, these cutscenes really are basic, aren't they? So this is what the city's elite like to wear. The fabric of your outfit is certainly gorgeous, but what really stands out is the craftsmanship. A keen observation, my dear friend. It seems you have quite the eye for fashion. Hey, don't get too friendly. She's not part of Team MZ. What does that matter? We are all friends, surely. We surely are not. In any case, when might I expect you to join us for the tournament? I told Laban, just Marcus is disqualified. We have Pokemon to save. I should do this the next time someone DQs out of my Fragapalooza tournaments. Go back to Hotel Regissime and host your tournament. I'm afraid that is not possible. You see, the tournament I planned was perfect in every way. Anything less would be unacceptable. And the two of you are indispensable in making my perfect dream into a perfect reality. Is it perfect if all your guests are standing around waiting for you? I left that in the capable hands of my dear right-hand woman, Liban. I don't... My brain is going crazy today. I don't know why. Like, I see the thing that has, like, the slightest possible distant connection to something, and then it pops into my head, and then I make myself laugh, and I can't move on with reading until I get this thing out of my head, or else I'm gonna look like I'm laughing at nothing. I looked at the name Laban there, and I imagined it in my head as, like, same pronunciation as Dunban from Xenoblade for whatever reason. And I just imagined that line from Shulk saying, like, that's Laban over there, which is not remotely close to Dunban, but I can't. What is going on with my brain today? As we speak, the guests are enjoying a lavish banquet of exquisite dishes and spectacular performances by renowned artists. I think that's enough of Yacinth. Lita, can we get back to Rogue Mega Evolution? Right, we'll split this into 3 missions. First, we need to help the Frostless that's in danger of Rogue Mega evolving. It's in Aimless Park in the Bleu district that I'm so butchering. Naveen, you take that one. Rogue Mega Frostless. Second, we have to handle the Altaria in Magenta Sector 4. I'll go there once we're done here. Rogue Mega Altaria. Third and last is the Venusaur in John Sector 8. Tawny, you'll secure that location. Rogue Mega Venusaur, guess I'm going there first. And like always, you go hit up all those places, okay, Floridance? Let's forget about the SBC party and focus on the Rogue Mega Evolution problem. Hello, Team MZ? I must say that you seem to be up to something quite intriguing. But know this, I do not take kindly to those who make light of my tournaments. It's rhyme time. Yacinth seems eccentric. Still, The upper crust do know how to dress. Those materials truly are cut above. Okay. Well, I assume she's gonna show up at, like, all the Rogue Mega Evolution things. I just think this is so funny, just absolutely insane. Yeah. Like I said, I have no idea what the hell is going on in this story at any given time, but I am finding it entertaining. But yeah, image I sent, the button tender is the thing at the back of the locomotive. Okay. I'll very quickly look at the thingamabob there. Whatever the heck that back thingamabob is. Yeah, that. There. News to me. See, like, Pokemon's trying to shoehorn Rotom into becoming a mascot? Yeah, that's the way it'll be, I'm sure. Going this way. Venusaur. I genuinely don't remember what Mega Venusaur looks like, I'm gonna be honest with you.